Hi everyone, this is the Lady Strange. This is a late and overdue for the Witches Black and Lent for the week of either making an oil of incense. That is week 4, I believe. I'm a bit behind. I've had a family member, my mother, that had a emergency pacemaker put in, but she's recovering, and that's a huge blessing. But that was a big thing weight on my mind. Work's been work, people been people. I'm in customer service, so enough being said with energy and the way the world is. That reflects on my calls and my jobs, and just life day to day, and woman and the energy I have to allocate. So I'm sitting down to do this to hold myself accountable, responsible, as I always say, and for my path, my magic, and as documentation for my progress to follow up and not fully digress or do the best I can. So this year I chose to do an oil. I've never made an incense, honestly. Never say never. I'm sure that will be something I will learn to craft and do, hopefully successfully somewhere along the line of my ever-changing path in craft work. And I have a cat that's playing and stuff and destroying stuff because he wants dinner. But Crowley. But other than that, which is never unusual for my videos, my cats are devils in their own right. We'll put it that way. But with that being said, I made an oil. I know for 2024. Wow, I can't think. For 2024, for see, there they both go, both cats. So, with 2024, I did make an oil for Pride. I actually still have some. I preserved quite the scent and the quality. I did a pretty good, hell of a good job, so to say, for Pride. I do wear it as needed, and when I need the extra boost and reminder, maybe you shouldn't keep your oils that long. I checked it, I know, and I know the energy that it holds. It's all about being discerning. So, last year, I'm not sure if I did make a wrath oil and I did anoint my candle. I did not wear any. This year, I'm not planning on wearing this oil per much, just like I did with year 1, as I said. I worked with what I had. I could wear this. There's nothing I'm allergic to or that's harmful for my skin. So, hey, who knows? This is going to be much more to use with the candles that I will be working in with the sigil I created. You can check that video out because I did not create an effigy, but I created a sigil that's personalized to me, my craft, and that fucking worked for me. So, with that being said, here's my oil, here's my rambles, and here's my most recent addition to the past working of the Witches Black Lent, created by Jasmine Ambrosia, which is wonderful. Check out her channel and her videos. As I always say, such a great inspiration and content. And this is for the subversion of the sin and the oil that I will be using throughout the rest of this to use in my ritual. I am not going to be showing pictures. I do not do that. Well, I'm not showing pictures or inserting pictures or doing anything. I'm doing the ritual a bit late. I don't know how much or how elaborate it'll be, but it's what works for me and I know will work. It's all about that. Magic is unique to each and every one of us in our paths, our resources, and what we create and what serves us. And in this case, with envy serving me, not being a sin, but serving it and recognizing how it affects me as a woman in its human life, and as well as working with me through that too, to work through repression, feelings, and alchemizing. And so far, I'm already, it's quite a doozy, envy is, and has so many more facets than I realized. So getting on with this, the oil that I have created, instead of an incense, but an oil that I will be using to anoint the candle and possibly wear myself, or on myself, should I say wear myself, either way. But point being made, or maybe other purposes, we'll see what is guided and what comes along and intuitively. So I used a base oil of olive oil. I usually either use olive oil or for my oils or jojoba or a combination thereof because they're skin friendly, they're easy to come by, and I like the qualities of those. But I use olive oil plus. It's easy to obtain, and I had it on hand, so being resourceful. And I used a rose petal from my self love bouquet from last year that I gave to myself for Valentine's Day as a gift and a recognition of myself in 2025. I tried those. My husband gave me a batch this year, last year about my own. This year he gave me a batch by surprise for Valentine's Day. So those will be sitting on my altar, myself loved and empowerment and magic altar to myself and to I consider my divine spark and my womanhood in this life. You can check out my shorts. I did have one this year for my birthday of showing the revamping of it. So you can check that out if you feel inclined. So I used a dried rose petal from that. As is envy is self-love, self-healing, holding oneself through the pain that may have been caused or created that envy, the patterns, the resentment, and how others might make you feel awful or being wrong or trying to repress your feelings, your envy, or put them and demonize them into sin. But instead, this is to show love, compassion, healing, and personal alchemy, and how I can use envy to my advantage and recognize it's a human emotion and a human experience thing, and how I can integrate it. And next, I use lavender, also for similar purposes and healing, plus for the scent of it, just like the rose. Two lovely, lusty scents, but also healing, conjunctive, and bringing luck and power. Then I did use some, uh, I used red pepper, cayenne, um, either or type of thing, but they're both one and the same in this case, is for the fire. Empty, as I said in my poem, it's burning. It's rageful, it's often ravaging, and catches you like a wildfire unexpected. It's a deep, dark set of emotions, of perceptions, perspective, and experiences and wounds one may hold. So I use that because it's also going to be fire of motivation as the purpose of this black lint for me, as of the others been, us to use what is considered unholy or irrelevant or you should not be embracing, and embracing, acknowledging, and alchemizing and integrating into my experience to work for me in my experience in all its aspects. So that's what that's for. I also consider an accelerant in my magic, as is cinnamon, which I put in this for similar and same purposes as above noted, as this is going to be for creation, the envy is, and to help get to the root of what created my envy and work through that. And lastly, I used, this is the oil, by the way. The last thing I entered to this, again, not too elaborate, but this is going to be effective. I can already feel it. It's been sitting on my main altar. And the last ingredient was this haunted honey. You can see this. It's actually a product I found several years ago. This is not from several years ago. I ordered it fairly within the past several months, mid halfway last year. Whatever the case is, this honey, as it's called, it comes from these gentlemen that have a business in New Orleans. They go to great cemeteries and mausoleums and relocate beehives that are there to a safer environment for them, to make safety from the mausoleums for those humans that go there, but to actually put the bees and to preserve them, but preserve the honey and the wax that they create. So therefore, haunted honey. But it's related to the death. This I work with death energies. I work with deities like Hecate and Hades on a consistent basis and believe in the constant cycles of death and rebirth. So this is that. It's also the nectar of the transmutation of life and death and the in between, the liminal. It's also kind of taboo if you think about it. It does say eat at your own risk. I can tell you this is the best goddamn fucking honey I've ever had in my life. It is sweet, it's indulgent, it is lustful, it is fiery, and worth every penny, and comes with a good purpose. So, with that being said, that is to show love, compassion, healing, and maybe to sweeten my resentment or sweeten those that have caused me resentment and make my envy work for me and my experiences, um, and to have an effective, empowered day to day and life experience, and also as a magician. And yes, this is rather discombobulated and rambly. That is how I am. I'm real. What you see is what you get. No mask, no pretentiousness, no need to hide behind those. And with that, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel inclined, as it helps my channel grow. And stay strange.